Hi guys, it's Marcy here from Chunky Knitted Creations, and I am going to show you a really fun way to make some slippers that are great to give away for holiday gifts or make some for yourself, something warm and cozy to wear around the house. And there's lots of different designs that you can do. These things are so flexible. You can make them in all different sizes, and it's a good way to use up some of your chunky yarn. Usually only takes about a half a skein, I think, to make these. So pretty economical. I'm going to show you a few different designs that I've made, and then I'm going to pause and flip the camera around and show you how to do them. So you're going to need just one skein of yarn, really good pair of scissors that you can cut through it with, and if you're like me and you like to not have to tie knots and things when you're making blankets or any chunky knitted items, I do the burn method, and I'll show you how to do that in the picture too, or the video, sorry. Okay, so this was the original one that I made, and if you can see this well, this is a pom-pom slipper. Okay, these are the fur pom-poms that you get from Amazon. You can get them from craft stores. They come in all different colors. I get mine on Amazon because you can get about 500 of them for $1. They come in a big, wide variety of colors, okay, to match any slipper that you make. And they have these cute little loops on them, if you can find them in the fur. And I also use these on hats too. And let's see if I can find a little loop here. Inside each one of these is this tiny little elastic loop that you attach it to things with. And if you want to spend a little more and make it easier, they make some with a snap on them. Much easier. I like these for hats because they center better in the hat. So you have to buy the actual snap kits if they don't come with it. The other half of this, mine didn't come with any, so I had to buy snap kits from the craft store so that you have the other piece to attach it to. Because when you wash these, chunky yarn is washable. You don't want to wash these because they are not washable, especially not dryable. I mean, you could try it, but it might fall apart. So there's one with the fur pom-pom. I've made several variations of these. I do fur trim for the men, yeah, guys love these. Sold lots of those last year. And let's see, if you've ever tried Magnifisoft yarn, to die for. This stuff is so soft, and you could make slippers with it. Comes from Hobby Lobby in a skein like this. Look how fluffy that is. Oh, so soft. Feels good on your feet. They can get slippery, so you can put attachments on it. Wait till you see these. I'm from Michigan, so I did Spartans. Look at that. Look at. Oh, I'll show you how to do these too. And Detroit. Yes. Yep. That could be tigers or lions, actually. And just show you a couple of things for the littles. Look at, for my niece. So when you make these for somebody, you want to just ask them to please measure their feet, or you can do like I did and just Google, like say, somebody wears a size 6, women's size 6, how many inches is that? And then just kind of figure out from there. Okay, look at another little baby one. I just love these slippers. I have so much fun. Made these for myself. Look at that. I used some of that Magnifisoft yarn. After you make the slipper, you do the single crochet, I think they call it, stitch. If you look up how to add a border to a blanket, and the way that you add a border to a blanket is the same way you attach this. Like you're adding a border, you're just going to feed it through. Just show you a couple more real quick and then we'll get started. Look at this. I love this one. These things are so soft. You just have to find all this yarn. Okay, this one was a work in progress, but you can even get crazy and go decorative. Look at the Santa. This is my favorite. Look at, isn't he cute? Put your feet in there, hat flaps around. Love it. Anything you can think of, just add it to your slippers. Okay, quickly I'll show you the charms that I had here on this Detroit one. Okay, I bought from Etsy shoelace charm kit, it's called, or a paracord bracelet charm kit. And it was about 20 bucks for everything. And it comes with this little paper punch. And there's a lady on there, I believe, called Willow Run Crafts. Willow Run Crafts, yes. And she sells the whole kit. And you get these little charms, okay? And they come in 2 sizes. You'll have to learn how to print out the little inserts, though, or you can actually buy them on Etsy also. This was the brand that I bought, okay? That she sent the paper punch. So you'll put the paper inside the little punch thing, close it down, punch out your piece of paper, and they come with these little domes. They're called sticker domes, okay? And so you'll put the piece of paper in here, put a tiny bit of glue on it to hold it in place. You take one of these clear domes, place it over top of it to hold it in place. And then just run some string through here and attach it, or yarn if you want. Oh, I don't think chunky yarn will fit through there. All right, so those are just some of the fun things you can do. And I'll show you if it's slippery. I have tried several things. I've tried hot glue. It didn't work because you can use hot glue on chunky yarn. I do it all the time to attach things when we make plushies. But when I put it on the bottom of one of these slippers, it didn't make it less slippery, and it just felt like little balls or something under my feet. I didn't like it. Some people don't think that these are slippery at all. I have all wood floors in my house, so I kind of, I gotta be careful. But I bought these shoe things from Amazon. So they're shoe grip pads, and I stick those right to the bottom of it. Doesn't scratch my floors, and it works wonders. Okay, I've kept you long enough. I'm going to pause this, flip the camera around, and show you quickly how to make a beautiful set. Okay, I'm back. So I chose this beautiful sage green Hobby Lobby Eternal Bliss. We're going to open this up. So you're just going to need your skein of yarn, probably a half skein, and depending on what size you make, some good scissors. These are my favorite. Got these from Amazon, I believe, but you can get them anywhere. A pair of scissors for our burn method, and a stitch marker. And I'm real professional, so I use a hair clip. But if you have a stitch marker, they work great. You're going to need that for the middle. So let's unwind our yarn. Now, if you've ever made a hat, this will be pretty easy for you in the beginning. So let's just unwind a little bit so that we don't have to keep pulling. I'm going to try to remember to stay within this frame here. And I'll get as much off as I can. All right. We are going to cast on 6 stitches because we want to make a chain of 6, and then we're going to make it into a circle. We are starting from the toe of the slipper and working forward. Let me grab another slipper really quick. Sorry. I'll pause that. Okay. And come back. Okay, so we're going to start from the toe. We're going to work our way up here. We're going to knit 6 rows. We're going to split off and knit around and back, around and back, around and back, and cast off the edge. Okay, that's basically how a slipper goes. This I did a women's size 7, so I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows going around, and then 6 here and 6 here, I believe it was. But I just measured my foot because I wear 7.5. So you want to leave a tail about maybe 6 inches long so that you can close up the bottom the same way you would close up any round ball. And again, this helps if you've made a blanket before. So to start our chain, we are going to make our cast on loop, cross it over, pull it through here, and tighten. This is your slip knot, okay? You want small tight stitches when you're doing a slipper because you don't want any holes. You don't want your feetsies getting cold. So tighten that good. And now we're going to do push it through again. Pull it out. There's 2, 3, I make these barely 2 fingers. 5. And I've not done a video or made a slipper in a long time, like a year now, so bear with me. And 6. I might add an extra stitch just for tightening it up, but we will still do 6 rows. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we're gonna turn it in, make a circle like this. Okay, this is your circle. You want to hold your circle together, so you're gonna take your tail and stick it through this loop here that's hanging off. Pull it through. This yarn is kind of tough to deal with when you're making small things. There we go. Get your loop through. Keep hold of that stitch. You're going to want to use that. Okay. Pull that yarn back through there. All right. So that's basically going to be 1 stitch there. You're going to knit through here. 2. Okay. It's your first one. Get my yarn and put. We're knitting. We're just doing a regular knit stitch, and we're going through the top of each stitch in the circle. 2, 3, 4. I'll put my yarn out there. I've got a good invention coming up to keep our yarn in place. 5. See, it's starting to come out there. Just grab your thing, pull it through. All right. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. Okay. Looks like a flower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I pulled through my first one there. All right, so you can do 7 if you've got a wider foot. 6 just makes a nice like size like that one that I showed you there. All right, so we are going to knit through our first stitch. 1, and I like to put my clip here just to mark where I started. Here we go. You can put it anywhere you want. This tail is getting in my way and it's making me frustrated to kind of hold it together. Okay, so 1, we are on row 2. 2 stitches of row 2. 3, 4, 5, and 6. See, I know this is my last stitch because I've got my marker there. 6. Okay, now we're going to start row 3. 1, small stitches where 1 or 2 fingers at the most. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so post that 1, 2, 3. Well, that was row 3. We're gonna do row 4. A little too big. 2, 3, 4. You want to hold your stitches close together if you don't want any gaps. If you hold them close together and make them small, you'll get a nice solid foundation there. Get some more yarn. This is stitch number 5. And there we go. Now we're starting row 5. See, if you want to count your rows, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your fingers in the holes. Okay, so 1, 2, make sure you didn't miss any. 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is number 6. These go by pretty quick once you get to hang of them. 1, Hold it together. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Let's count again because I get mixed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, I need to go. It looks big enough almost to me for my foot. 1, 2, 3, 5. That's 5, yeah. We'll go around one more time just to make sure it's big enough. Oops, that's a little big. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Roll up some more yarn. I should have unwinded my skein before I got. Alright. So we're looking even everywhere. This is going to be the front part of our slipper that comes up to our ankle. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to take this stitch marker. This is going to be the split that you put your foot into. So we're going to start here, knit around, stop. Knit around, stop. Knit around, stop. That's how you split it off. You want to drop the first stitch. This is what we say all the time in our Chunky Yarn Blanketeers group. Drop the first stitch means I've already knitted this one once, and normally you would knit it again when you're coming back. If you drop the first stitch, leave it alone, or skip that first stitch or end stitch on a blanket, you'll get a nice border, and you will want that when you have a slipper, because this is where we're splitting. And you, if this one didn't have the fur on it, you would see it will fold in. These end up looking like Crocs almost when they're done, like soft Crocs. All right, so row 1 after the split, and we're gonna go 6 more. Hold it nice and tight together. 2, 3, 4. You actually really don't have to count now because you're gonna hit this, okay? And you'll know when to stop. So that was row 1. We're gonna come back over here, skip that stitch. I already knitted it once. I don't want to knit the end one twice, but I want to knit everything else. So, okay, row 2. And if you do an extra row, it's really not going to hurt anything. I'll just make them a little looser. And I have been told by some people that theirs stretched out a little bit. So make them a little tighter than you want for your feet if you don't like a loose slipper. Okay, so skip that stitch, don't knit it again. Go back here. All right, we're on row 3. See, it's already starting to curve in. It'll give a nice circular effect to wrap around your foot. 2. Keep your rows tight together. You won't have any gaps. Look, I can't even fit my fingers through there. So you want that with a slipper, or if you're making a stuffed animal plushie that you don't want the stuffing to stick out of it, you definitely want to knit tight together in small stitches. All right, so if you forget, like, how many rows am I on? All right, with this you'll have one more row than what you'll have stitches because you skipped the end stitch. So 1, 2, 3. So I actually did 4 rows after my fancy stitch marker there. I hope you guys are having a ball doing this because I really love to make slippers. I love chunky yarn. I just have it surrounded by me, all around me. I made couch pillows. I've got blankets everywhere, stuffed animals, decorations, my pet bed. Just can't get enough of it. There's so much you can do with it. Okay, so we are on row 5 already. See how quick that goes once you learn how to do it? You can have a nice pair of slippers in an hour. Last minute gift for somebody that's going to pop in for the holidays or getting ready to go to a Christmas party and you didn't have a gift for somebody. You can make them for a man or a woman. Men really love these, believe it or not. I've sold a lot of them. Where women have got them for their husbands and they want more. And they're washable. Alright, that's our last one. Okay, I'm going to count my rows just to make sure that I got 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, I've got 12 rows. And I might have counted my cast on chain. We'll call it that for this one. It's hard to keep track. Alright, so now you can get rid of this. We're going to close up the toe, just like we would any round stuffed animal or any other hat. Go from the outside in. You're going to grab the top of that stitch from the first row, pull it in. If you're using this Hobby Lobby yarn, you're going to want to tighten it as you go, okay, so that you get a nice smooth toe. Alright, tuck that in. Alright, that was 1, 2. Oh, this is really sticky. 2, don't pull too hard or you'll break it, but if you do, just burn it back together. Hopefully this will close up for me. I probably should have used a burlap yarn. That's a little slicker. There we go. I just want to make sure I get it good and tight because you don't want your toes sticking out. But we're also going to tie a knot at the end, so if you have a little hole there, don't worry. But we've already got it almost closed up. And you can also go around again. Outside in. Hopefully this is all on camera, guys. Outside in. And then tighten. Oh, it's not wanting to move. Just give it a struggle. There we go. Make sure you've gone through each stitch. I bet you're wondering how we're going to close up the back part. It's kind of tricky. All right, we've got 1 stitch left here. I'm in a hurry. Usually I don't end up with that lump there. I do better with my stitching on the beginning, but I think I'm getting rid of it now. All right, so look, all closed up. All right. Now, I like to tie my knot from here. You can all tuck it inside and do it. This is how I do my pumpkin. So I just tie it really close to the end there. And then we're going to tuck it inside. Pull that in. Yeah, that came out pretty good. Looks like a star, see? Here's your toe. Now, you're going to flip it inside out. Push that through. Okay, that's that piece that I just pulled through. Make sure you've got this is the back, the heel of the slipper. Your 6 stitches, or 7 if you wanted a bigger slipper, wider one. All right. We want to line them up across from each other. Okay, because we are going to cast them off together. So, take your working yarn. This is always called your working yarn. You're going to push it through these 2 stitches. All right. And you're going to, it makes another loop. You're going to, let's make it a little smaller. You're going to bring that loop next to the other 2 and cast it off on that side again. Made my stitches so small, it's going to be hard to get it through. There we go. Okay, so pop back through again. You got your other 2 stitches. All right, bring it next to them. Okay, see how it's going, nice little heel seam there. And try to get this through. You can let go of that one first and push it through your 2 stitches. Disadvantage of making them tight. All right, put that back through. So you want to pull through 3 stitches. The 2 that were there, and you're pulling another loop through, pushing it here, pulling through, attaching it here, pulling through. Okay, and then when you get to the bottom, you're pretty much done. You're gonna cut this yarn, leave it about another 4 inches. Okay, whatever you want. You don't need too much right here. Put it through that hole. I pull it really small so I don't have it bunched in there. You're gonna put it through that hole, tighten it up real good. Okay, now you really don't need this excess string, so you can weave it through your stitches here or just cut it off and burn it. I like to weave it back across, like through both of them if you can get it through, but I made this one so tight I can't get it to go through. I like to try to weave it in and out to reinforce the heel, but I've never had one of them fall apart. So let's just weave it up the side, and then I'll come across, or if you don't feel like weaving this, just cut it short, burn them together, however you want it. See, I don't like that. Oh, that's popping up there. I'm gonna push that back through. We all have our own little things that bug us. Okay, I can't get it out. But what I like to do is these top 2 stitches, I like to get it back through there because those do get kind of loose. People are gonna grab and pull their slipper on that way. All right, so now I'm gonna burn it together. I like to trim the little fuzz off. When I burn, I usually only light one end. If I'm doing a blanket, even most people light both ends and put it together. I light one end and just stick it to, like, say if you were doing a blanket, I would only light one side and push it together, and then just kind of squishy to get out the bump. Okay, but when you're knitting like this, you can pretty much stick this anywhere you want here. I'm going to put it right here so I can reinforce that heel a little more. So like that. Get yourself a good flame. There is like a wax in the middle of this yarn, a wax string I call it. You want to get that either on fire or at least bubbling like that. Ouch. Push it together, burn yourself. Hold it kind of tight. Your fingers get used to it, trust me. Alright, let that cool. Alright, give it a nice tug. It's not coming apart. We're good. Alright, this here, again, cut it, leave it, weave it through, whatever you want to do. I am going to, you really don't need that knot there. It's not going to come out. I'm going to weave it through one time, and I'm going to burn it on the side because, again, I don't want to be walking on it. So I cut it short and oops, can't light it with that, can I? It's been a long day, guys. All right, let me get a hold of it. Try to light that little piece in the middle that holds the yarn together. Torch lighters work even better. I just didn't have one. Push it together so that you're pushing it to the other core and melting it. Alright, again, even if that came loose, that slipper is not going to fall apart because you tied this and this is so tight. Alright, that's all done. Let's flip it back inside out. Or right side out, whatever you want to call it. Get it? All nice and straightened out. Put your hand in there. This is probably more like a size 6. I might have miscounted my rows there, but you get it. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I love this color. Now, right here is where you attach your pom-pom. Okay, I'm not going to do it right now because it's time consuming. So you find the little loop that's in here, and you can take a piece of string, cut it off, tie it on there. If you tie it on there, it's going to be kind of hard to get off if you want to wash it. This one doesn't have a thing. I like the snap-on ones better. I showed you that, guys, those in the beginning. But here's your little loop. Okay, so you could cut off a piece of string. This is how I did it in the beginning. If you don't care about it being removable, you just got to get creative with it. Try to push this through here. Here. Okay. Take that little piece there. Pull it through. Tie yourself a little knot. Tuck that down in the slipper. Okay, you got a pom-pom. All right, so I would actually, if I was going to keep it on there, I would weave this through the sides, okay? Or if you don't tie it really tight and just weave it through the sides, you'd be able to get it off so that you, again, you don't want to put this in the washer. That's the whole thing. So you can, if you want to leave it permanently attached, you can cut and burn that or just come up with another creative way. All right, that's the basic slipper. In fact, I think I'm going to keep these. I need a new pair. Okay, have a ball.